It's just, yeah, I will be tweeting that later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we're in the vehicle banning stage. Krone are to go first. And they have banned the very quick Steurer with the care wheels. And the telehandler has gone second, thanks to Landeier. Third ban, is the quick Puma with the care wheels. Which must mean, yes, JCB. There goes the JCB. Now that's interesting because them Krone banning those forces Landeier to ban the other two.
Yeah, because they will always go. Mind you, that said, we've still got, there's a little voucher with narrows you can pick, and there's all the options of the large tractors still available. So,
the voucher is first choice of Krone, with the Deutz being the first choice of Landeier. The large Fendt is the choice of Krone. So those two seem to be the two favourite large tractors.
We haven't seen the Magnum picked very much today.
The Massey Ferguson 7722 is the second choice of Landeier. The T6 is third choice of Krone.
So Krone are going for a two-loader option.
And the final, so it's two large tractors and a front loader versus two front loaders and a large tractor.
That could be again going for that option if you get the larger balers, if you can run the balers full with a baler on the front as well.
The interesting thing will be if Landeier grab that Krone baler.
Yeah, it'll be a good call off the start.
Both going for slight edge to start off with. And this is going to be interesting. Transport company and chip tuning. So yes,
a speedy setup for Krone, and then Landeier have gone for the auto-load bale trailer.
So if Landeier wants to upset Krone here, they'll grab that Krone baler.
Yeah, and potentially block them out. If you can block them out with either, leave them with one harvester, leave them with one baler.
Yeah.
We're seeing teams do that more and more.
Quite a long way over the side. I would be amazed if they do not go for that Krone baler. And I think that is going to be a big hold on it. And you can see DaWaldler is going straight for that Krone baler.
Two harvesters straight for that as well.
And as are, who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? I think, yes.
Krone got it?
Krone have got the Krone baler. Okay. That is essential to
Landeier
what they're going to do.
Got the John Deere and the New Holland harvester.
Krone have got the Fendt baler as well. So you've got the fast one and the...
and the large capacity. So strong baler setup. Both teams got two harvesters, so no one's been blocked out in the harvesters. And both teams coming in almost exactly the same place. Two harvesters running, they're both off.
So fairly even start-up. And you can see here, Krone have that Krone baler. They don't have a particularly big tractor. No, they do have one big tractor to run, don't they? But they won't do that at the moment because they want to be getting 4 bales back at a time in these early stages.
Clearing out around that auger wagon.
It's actually a really pretty even harvester setup.
Yeah, it is. They're pretty well matched.
Because I think the John Deere harvester may be slightly faster than the others. I think that's the advantage over the Case and the New Holland.
So the setup begins. Both teams moving equipment around where they need it for later.
Everything where they want it, and you can see that Landeier are going off up to the top end of the field, creating that line that they can go down, that allows them to then continually bail the whole way around the top of the field.
It seems a bit weird, that jump on, jump off, and that's literally just to open up that auger wagon, ready for the harvesters when they arrive later.
And here, Landeier are getting started on their baling. Now they're not too worried about the baling. They do have the ability to send 2 balers around fairly quickly because they've got large tractors.
There you go. 3 in the back, 1 on the front, 4 at a time. It's a good setup. Works really well.
And this means that they only have to do sort of 3.5 trips to match what you have on the transport company. And that, as a result, just evens that deficiency out, especially when they've got both the chip tuning and the slight edge.
Oh, they're going first points on the board. So Krone should get 40 points. Double points for the first bail in. Oh, he was going for it again. Didn't quite work.
He's managed to do it. He can get, actually that is
on top.
a decent way of doing it. That should be stable enough to do that. And I'd be surprised if they're going to pick up the bail stacker at this point. I think they will probably continue on. There's no point, there's no real advantage, I think, to unfolding that at the moment.
No, unless you've got bales sitting there that you can load onto it ready, there's not a lot of point.
Now this is something you have to be careful of. If you catch that bale with the front of that combine, that bale will disappear.
Does it really?
Yeah, I discovered this.
Yet.
I discovered this in one of my FSL ones. I tried to turn while there was a bale there, caught it in the front, bale disappeared. Oh. So yeah, you have to be really careful. If you catch a bale with a header, it will go. And that's why you see most teams now doing this up and down the field rather than going across.
To avoid coming
into contact with bales and having to turn more often.
There's machinery whizzing about everywhere at the moment.
10 minutes and Landeier have gone down to the single harvester setup. They have plenty of straw on the field.
I think they're off to get their auto-load bale trailer. That was where the tractor was going.
And so they'll start loading that up because we are now getting closer and closer to that drop.
Yeah, this works. Krone don't do this very, very well. 4 at a time.
Of course, the advantage that this has for Krone as well is that they are able to keep 2 harvesters running longer.
Yeah.
And as they have 2 harvesters, that means they are going to have a lot more straw out there, and it means they're going to have a lot more grain in that trailer,
which will come into play later on.
Would surprise me immensely if they don't go for the wheat.
Yeah. We are seeing more and more teams going for the wheat as an option when the drone drop happens later on, when you get the power plays. Yeah, they probably will.
And there we see Landeier are now beginning to collect their bales up as well. So yeah, again, they because they're using this trailer, they are down to just 1 harvester. But it doesn't matter so much because they are doing the whole thing of unloading one while they're harvesting with the other. Now he's left that in a bit of a difficult position to get that bale, but he's got it on the front foot.
And it's to take 14 on the back, 1 on the front, it's 15 at a time. But because they can wait longer to collect those, but the whole time they're doing that, Krone are dropping 4 at a time. Yeah. So it gets to that point where they've almost got the same amount delivered just by a different method.
Knocking their bale trailer out, their auger wagon out of the way though, not great for them. And Krone have such a massive amount of straw on the field in comparison now. They really, really need to probably get a second baler out, I think, and start getting some more bales back.
They need to get more bales. They've got a lot on the ground, and they need to convert that. It's all well and good having it harvested, having it on the ground. You've got to convert that to bales because you need those later on. We're heading rapidly towards drone drop territory. 8 minutes down to 6 minutes. The power play drops can happen.
And Krone now getting another 4 bales back. Nicely over the bridge.
We're going for the second baler now.
This is the Fen baler, which is a lot faster than the other balers. So they will be able to start generating bales much quicker with that. But of course it does only have a capacity for 2 bales instead of 3 that the Krone has. So while it generates them faster, they are still going to have to make more runs to get as many bales back.
.744, 740 on the clock.
And here we go, 15 bales back. Ooh, that was harsh. 17 with the ones on that have come in on the baler. So they are now getting themselves in position, Landeier, for that drone drop to make maximum use of whichever bonus comes out. Now, if it's the bale bonus, then they should be sailing. They've got the bales there. They have more bales there.
They're neat. They're double stacks. They're easy to load. I say easy to load. Comparatively.
But if it's the wheat bonus, they're going to have to suddenly switch what they're doing. They're ready. They are ready there with a tractor on it, but I think that Krone have been generating more wheat and therefore are going to be in a better position to take full advantage of that bonus.
Yep.
So the best way right now Landeier can disrupt Krone is to make sure they get the bale drop. And Krone have another 4 bales coming back, and there we go. The drop is down.
They're going for grain.
And they're going for grain, and Krone have got the grain drop. So I fully expect now the next thing that Krone go and do is they immediately go and drop that grain. And Landeier know it.
Yeah, get points on the board now.
Immediately putting points on the board.
Get points on the
knowing
board.
that they've possibly got that deficiency, they're going to go and get the grain dropped so that they can minimise any advantage that horse get from this. Absolutely brilliant counter coming in. And here we go. So close to getting that bale drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if they can counter the grain drop, when Krone drop their grain, if Landeier can drop theirs with enough an advantage now, that's why just get them in. They've got the auto load bale trailer, they can come back out and they can still keep getting bales coming in.
And looking at, yeah, here we go. There is the drop from Krone, trying to take full advantage of this.
Now they need to be getting bales on their conveyor belt now.
And looking at it, are Krone, yeah, Krone are now loading bales onto their thing. And the counter is coming. There we are. Now it's a question of who has more grain in their auger. Who has enough? And Krone, yeah, are just loading onto their bale stacker, onto their bale belt, trying to take full advantage. And that is it.
That's surprising. That's a big shift, and that's still in Krone's favour. They've got a few bales there. They have still got the advantage.
It is up to, can Krone get the bales into their barn with the time left?
With 4:40 to go, Landeier probably, they need to get some more grain dropped. They've got to try and balance out this multiplier.
But it's then the thing of, we need to get more the harvester out there for another time. And that is the end of the wheat drop. So now it's going to be even harder for Landeier to counter that bonus.
He kept hold of that well. I thought that was going to fall off then. Okay.
So Krone have gone into the lead, 254 to 281.
286 to 281. No, they've got to keep these bales coming. They
need to get more bales coming in.
And
I don't know if they've got enough time to actually counter this multiplier.
That's the dilemma.
It's now pure numbers.
Do you focus on bales, or do you try and get some more grain dropped? If you're going to focus on bales, you've got to bring way more bales than Krone do.
And it looks like Landeier are getting a harvester out there, trying to get more grain in, trying to counter this, but it's precious minutes. And they can't afford to lose that. And it looks like, this is the thing, as long as Landeier can keep supplying bales at the same time as this, then they should be all right. Because Krone do have this deficiency in bales. And it's actually still pretty close. Oh. And losing bales like that off the stack, that slows Krone down. It gives more time to Landeier to come back and get more bales in and get more points on the board.
That multiplier's hurting him, it really is.
The interesting thing is, if you have a full stack of these bales and the difference is only 140 points, and in the dying moments you unload a full trailer, you're still going to win.
You can do it.
And you know, the difference is less than 140 points.
And they're double stacking. I mean, it's that confidence of your stacker that with 2.5 minutes to go, you've taken the time to double stack before you put them on.
And here we go, another 6 bales coming in for Landeier. No, another 8. No, that's 6 bales. Coming in for Landeier.
They start up another harvester.
So they are emptying the harvester, and I think they're going to try and even this up. 2 minutes left on the clock.
We've still got 4,700 litres. I don't know if it's enough. I don't know how much difference that's going to make, really. Just under 2 minutes to go. They need to start getting these bales on.
And look at that. Krone just
they are flying.
Bringing bales in as quickly as they can at this point. They are not worried about creating any more straw right now. Because they've had that extra time to get that little bit extra straw out there, they're not having to worry about having to harvest it. And they know that they've got that extra, the extra bonus. It's enough to bring it back
a little bit.
0.1. That will make a difference. Will it be enough of a difference? Lots of concentration on their faces.
Absolutely.
The pressure is really on, and Krone actually have pulled out a massive lead at this point. Well, that's 200, nearly 240 point lead. And yeah,
speed and accuracy. And then,
But Krone are doing well simply because they're keeping bales coming in over, and it's that constant flow of bales, and this strategy of being able to have the harvesters out for longer because you've not got the transport trailer.
Yeah.
It's the point at which the transport trailer actually becomes a burden to your strategy rather than an advantage.
We have seen a lot of teams using it, and then after dropping the first load of 14 bales, discard it and then move back to balers again. So in that situation,
and it's one of those things where we, over the last few tournaments, we've seen teams just using it, you know, and it being an absolute game changer and something you need to win. Krone have come up with a tactic and a thing here that kills it.
Yeah, they're knocking on 800 points.
That is just amazing.
Without the auto bale failure. And they've done
and
it.
There
Wow.
we go, 270 point difference.
It was a good game.
That was impressive.
Yeah. And I think it's always difficult to tell because we're never too sure what the team's tactics were. And talking to teams after the matches and stuff, they will say, "Oh, this went wrong or that went wrong, miscommunication. We didn't get the machinery we wanted." It's always that awkward.
I've not previously seen a team counter the transport company quite so well.
No.
And Krone have made an art form of it. They have been really practicing to go. Everybody's using this tactic. Let's find a way to counter it, because if we can counter this, we can beat almost any team that comes up against us.
And interesting, looking who we got left, Krone, John Deere and Grimmer, out of all of those three, they all play similar tactics.